that. I see all my ears are ring out Ross. I hear gunshot till a week. But glad. Watch ya. I run gone up son. Be a shot. Yo, you have to avoid the bypass. I can't tell a man this much.
On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype. We make it take flight.
Yeah man, my viewers and subscribers, what Guan. A blessed and wonderful Friday evening to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now, my peeps, I don't know how we do it over on this side. So we have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we are going in Jamaica. So what you know, my peeps, and the Spot News Media have been out for like 2 days. You don't know, more time in life just happen and we have to just deal with some other little issues and get everything spinning and get the ball rolling the right way. But nothing happened to On The Spot News Media, man. We're there live and in living colors. Still I go and push the thing and still I go and do the do. We still there go and do the right. So for all the persons who have reached out, showing their concerns, wondering if On The Spot News Media is okay, we are most definitely okay. Yeah, man. So blessings and appreciation to the ones and ones them. The plan was for wait until a morning for drop a vlog. But to the amount of messages and emails and DMs what we say are running, we are saying, no man, we have to make the regular ones and ones them out there know say we govern like that. Yeah man. So we got to talk about what go on in Spanish Town presently. The whole heap of knockings and clappings we are going in a Spain town, in a the troubled, war-torn, crime-riddled St. Catherine North Police Division. So watch this now. The police them ClapWeh 2. One is said to be the reputed gang leader for a place in a Spanish town, St. Catherine, known as Okra Lane. Now, Okra Lane is along the Spanish town bypass vicinity, De La Vega City. So from your here, De La Vega City, you know, say Okra Lane is controlled by the Tesha Miller-led faction of the Klansman gang. So the police, them slap it too. So first, we're going to give you the official police report as it relates to that double fatal knockings and clappings there. Then of course, residents are refuting the claims. In fact, them a Black Road, Buntayana go and bad over there. We're going to make them tell Uno where them say happen also. Then of course, we're going to hear from Indicom, where I say, boy, the police, them I give them beer work from the start of the year. Then on the Spot News Media, I go get into the meat of the matter. Yeah, man. So watch this now. Thursday night, the police, them lick down 2 brother. One of them named Everton Spike, 44-year-old. The next one is known as Jason Spike. Now, Jason Spike is said to be the reputed gang leader for Okra Lane. In fact, he might run it off for another brother who is presently incarcerated. So that brother in question that me I talk about was charged under the anti-gang legislation. He did get charged with the Tesha Miller-led faction of the Klansman gang and is presently behind bars for that. Now, the Jason Spike brother, the 33-year-old, present on your screen, and him we are going to focus on. So I'm going to give you the official police report as it relates to that double fatal knockings and clappings of Everton Spike and Jason Spike. So the police report suggests that sometime around 7:45 p.m., the police team was on patrol along Spanish Town bypass. It is said that 2 men were spotted by the police in the vicinity of Okra Lane walking towards De La Vega City. The men were called to beckon to by the police for stop. It is said that the two men then brandish firearm and start knock it and clap it in the direction of the police. And being the well-trained officers that they are, who were properly trained at the agriculture school over there in Portland, where them teach them how to plant can in a dirty boy stomach. The officers said in fear of their lives and of their colleagues, they returned the fire in the criminal elements' direction. When the knockings and clappings subsided, the police stated that 2 firearms was retrieved in close proximity from the bodies. It is said that 4 spent shells were also retrieved from the scene. Both men were taken to the Spanish Town Hospital, not in a bid to save them life, but more so to pronounce them officially, you know what. So them call in they come and say, you want to sit down up there and play domino all day, come do some work. So in they come and deal with the scene a certain type of way. So 2 firearms was retrieved. One is said to be a 9mm submachine gun affixed with a loaded magazine with 6 live 9mm cartridges remaining. It is said that the serial number on that firearm was also erased. So that submachine gun, the one of them called Jason Spike, did have that firearm in his possession at the time. The next brother had a Taurus in his possession. And the brother's firearm, the police states that only 1 round was left in that firearm. So, whole heap of things go on where that is concerned. So now, the people in the community, the residents, are refuting the claims of the police and say a lie the police them a tell. So now what we are going to hear from the residents, then we are going to hear from Indicom, then of course we are going to get into the meat of the matter of it all. Listen.
The police found any gun or anything like that?
I don't know. I don't know if they find the gun. My brother don't have if you sit in the park pen, them have gun at you. You be crazy, man. And this time, I spoke to my 2 brothers, listen to me. We were a couple in Everton Park. And leave I go to work yesterday. I tell him to carry my son with him go to work yesterday. Why? The next morning in Jesus Park, he's still in the house in pain and come out at even time.
I said there was no shooting.
There's no shootout. No shootout. With my 2 brothers over there sitting down at the bartender, so they sit down in the chair over there. Me bill them for the bartender. Me bill them. Sit down for the bar, so we for the bar. Me bill them, share them a bill over there.
So the community, I realize, is supporting you because they are protesting.
Of course, the protests, yeah, the protests. Whoa, what do I get from this now? When I kill my 2 brothers? Then left him daughter. His daughter dropped down. I rushed to the hospital. My mother dropped down. I'm going to the hospital right now. What going to happen now? I have my brother behind bars, supposed to get bail. The third now this month, I pay much money.
So as you heard for yourself from that brother who made mention of the brother that I spoke about earlier, who is presently behind bars, who is the reputed gang leader for Ocker Lane. But his brother, the 33-year-old Jason Spike, are running it off for him whilst he's behind bars. So he's the one that I stated that got charged under the anti-gang legislation. So now we're going to hear from Indicom. The Indicom man I say, boy, trust me, the police them nah give them a break as them sit down for shuffle some domino. Them have to get up because the police then liquid sitting again. So really and truly, a 3 end up get ClapWeh in the parish of St. Catherine. The 2 brothers in the St. Catherine North Police Division and another man identified as Rashani Alexander. We're going to talk about him in tomorrow morning's vlog. Him get ClapWeh around a back road, somewhere around the side there. Yeah man, a top tier gang member in the St. Catherine South Police Division. So in the go up on the scene over there in Spanish Town and interviewed other relatives of the Spike brothers. Those relatives have this to say, listen.
The police them come, special force. They say their name for special force. They come here 1 o'clock. They come here 2 o'clock. Them come 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Before day. And me I tell you, back at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, never find a pin. They put out him name as person of interest. Sunday evening. And him going the Sunday evening. And when him go station, the police say, who put out your name? Just to go on home.
They have labeled us to say that we are gangsters. They have labeled us to say we are hoodlums. They have labeled us to say that we have all the things that are not good. And when in fact it's not that so. But society, the persons who are in government, who are in authority, they have labeled us and they have made up their minds that they will do what they need to do. How do we change this? It has to take a community effort, a social intervention, not just sending out the security forces to come and just run in and out whenever there's a situation, have conversation with us.
So as you heard from that female family members, my peeps, he came out as a person of interest listed by the Spanish Town Police. So the list is presently on your screen. Tajay Clark, otherwise known as Skippa. Now, Tajay Clark, presently on your screen, is a dancehall artist who frequents Star's Pen in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. But he hails from Montego Bay, St. James, or some about that place there. But him always over Star's Pen, singing a lot of songs with lyrics inciting violence against the Jamaica Constabulary Force. So them say them definitely want him for that. We're going to get back to him shortly. But on the list, as you can see, a man only known as Mari, a man known as Crocodile or Crocs, a man known as Big Guy, a man known as Pop Star, a man known as Son Son. Now the man will end up losing 3 points, Jason Spike. His name was on that list as Jason. A next man known as Tatas. And a next man known as Tashwin. Tashwin was featured on this channel when time I talk about the one other in Spanish Town. I did a complete vlog of several criminal elements within that particular criminal organization. So I could get back to the meat of the matter right now, my peeps. So we're going to talk about the criminal element. The 33-year-old brother known as Jason Spike. I'm going to give you some information where the family members them just seem to leave out. I mean, I know if you are defend, say your family members them innocent, as you claim to say. You don't need to put in every little thing in it, man. Put in all of the ingredients in the soap pot, or else the soap now going to taste good. So right now, on the left out the ingredients, yeah. I mean, I got put it in it. So when time John Public I consume the soap now, the soap will taste good. So anyway, listen to this. So on your screen is Jason Spike. Who remember when there was a spike in robberies? How ironic, eh? When the beryllium security trucks was being targeted by criminal elements. Them get robbed left, right, and center. You remember when we go on over Portmore? Yeah, man, we are talking about the specific incident there, Portmore. Well, the criminal element presently on your screen known as Jason Spike was picked up during the beryllium spate of robberies in late 2023. At the time, he was the guardsman insider where provide the Nakis and Clappis them with the information about the armored vehicles carrying cash. So him was the inside link for the Nakis and Clappis them where target the guardsman vehicles that are the beryllium trucks. So he was taken up by CTAC, but them hold him in custody for a little while, but them couldn't really prove say boy are really him wholeheartedly, because you don't know if you have a case stand up in a court. You have to make sure say you cross all of the T's and dot all of the I's. But see that no normally miss. Them just couldn't get certain other evidential material where them did want to really bring the case to court. So he was eventually released. So from when you hear that, you know say that boy a one dangerous youth. So as I stated, him come from Okra Lane. Okra Lane is controlled by the Teshamela-led faction of the Klansman gang. So this criminal element here takes orders from Teshamela and also from his brother, who is presently incarcerated. So he plays a very integral role for send out the foot soldiers them pan a daily if you go collect extortion money in the bus park and several other places in and around the Klansman faction. Well, the Teshamela-led faction of the Klansman, them have for them own territory in a Spanish town proper. So him a one of the man them will make sure say the foot soldier them go collect in the money and bring it in back so Tesha can get fee peace and them brother away in a prison can get fee peace. So when you hear the residents and family members them a ball out and a go on like say them boy are innocent, you know. Far, far from the truth. In fact, as the sister clearly stated, you know, several police military operations was launched at the house for that same troubled brother. That entire family, especially the males in the family, majority of them have a troubled past. In fact, the son of one of the now deceased, and if memory serves me correct, the son of the 44-year-old brother was also incarcerated on a gun charge in not so recent times. So that entire family, my peeps, is really, really troubled. So when I see them out there Black Road and I go on and I chant and I make up them bag of nice, no farmer angelic being, no white wing over them back a flap, and no halo over them head. So I hope the regular ones and ones them out there I see exactly what I take place in a Spanish town, and that there's a lot of truth to what is being said. No more done will ever reign in Spanish town. As you rise up, at same time, you go fall. So to the ones and ones them, what did I say, boy, the police, them ungla, take set pan Klansman. And then when them go so rope and liquid the badness, and him second in command, the JLP people them say, boy, them ungla, take set pan one other, warm to Klansman. And now the police them go so rope and slap with two Klansman, quick and fast. No more than business. Can't go on a Spanish town. So before me get into the whole Skippa business, you know, like we said this too, we see where a lot of threats are being sent in the direction of the heads of the Spanish town police division. We are talking about namely the two heads, the man who sits in the hot seat, Superintendent Hopton Nicholson, and also his operations officer, Deputy Superintendent Toms. Both of these high-ranking police officers' lives have been threatened, not just from the Klansman, but also since of late from the one other. The man them claim to say, boy, them two police there gots to go. Well, let me give you a word to the wise. The entire JCF and the JDF is just waiting to see which one are not brave enough, not even for slap with a police or slap with them, you know, but just make an attempt to try that. Then me can guarantee, you know, when you remember the Tivoli incursion, well, Spanish Town would have surely get their own incursion. So I would advise pick a certain lane and a certain life to live. It comes with the territory. Once you go be a criminal, once you go be a bad man, more so a dan, you go come up against opposition from the police. And the both are they're on two different sides of the fence. So clashing I go on. And if police slap on away, I just part of the game. Yeah, man. On pick on the side. So we have to just stay upon it. And if we wish to speak truth, Spanish Town have not seen better days until Superintendent Hapton Nicholson and his operations manager, Deputy Superintendent Tams, took over Spanish Town, the St. Catherine North Police Division, at the best it ever be. Because in truth and in fact, the man them that has been taken out by the police last year into this year are some top knockers and clappers, some game changers the man them take out of the game. So the game can change in the right direction. Spanish Town will be returned to its former glory. So it's either gonna work with it or the system are gonna work without uno. One thing I learned this early in our life. You see, the system, we not talk about who control the system, Because all the heads of government, heads of system, heads of organizations comes and go. Prime ministers comes and go. Commissioner of police come and go. The superintendents of police come and go. Heads of organization come and go. But guess what remains in place? The system. And once you come up against the system are going to get rid of you, because at the end of the day, the system must work. The system must remain intact. So it's either you work with it or it will work without you. But the system will remain. Remember that. So now, my peeps, I'm going to talk about Tajay Clark, otherwise known as Skippa. Yo, Skippa, the police them said them need you. So if you're not turning yourself already, I would advise you for turning yourself now. Because on the Spot News Media, I've listened to several of your Tickman, one other dub plate sessions them. And you have incited violence against members of our country's security forces. So just like that female, that little crossmite girl that will come and run off her mouth and incite violence against the police and is presently behind bars. Walk in, go turn in yourself to the police so you can go join her in an adjoining cell. Yeah, man. That I go on. The police them are going to charge you. And I hope that when you present yourself before Your Honor, and Your Honor hear the lyrics that you are incite against our country's security forces, you will be punished with the harshest that Your Honor can find at the books for throw at you. These police officers are making a really good example out of some of you, members of John Public and the entertainment fraternity alike. So because some of you may hear about freedom of speech, and some of the regular ones and ones them will migrate, jumping at the comment section and boots up like a tin of supplicant. What about freedom of speech? A man supposed to can say what he want to say. Not no go so. There's no such thing as say what you feel for say. No. Freedom of speech don't mean say you go careless with it and incite violence against the security forces. And not just the security forces, just about anyone. That is the reason why you can go to the police and report a threat. If freedom of speech was as free as you feel a mind, when a man threaten for bust off on the head, why uno go a police station, go report it, and why when it is reported, the police take action to go to the person and warn them not to carry out the threat. Because freedom of speech don't mean say you can just going around and using that freedom carelessly. It no work that way there. So Skippa, turn in yourself. Tash Wayne, you're up on the radar. Yeah, man. You don't know what we are talking about when time we say that. So my peeps, tomorrow we're going to go into further detail with other news that we missed the past 2 days when time in there. We're going to get into the meat of the matter of them all. And as always, my peeps, just, you don't know, we're going to get to everything and giving you a full update subsequently. So remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.